I go live when I go live, Manny. I normally say it.
All he says is, I really don't like Eddie Kingston.
I fucking hate Eddie Kingston. He's a waste of space.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of Everything Else. And thank you, Manny, for fixing that jump I did, or Leslie did it by itself. Because I was like, how do I transition from that to that? Because I put this in there and there, whatever. Well, welcome to Everything Else. I'm Marcus, the grand finale. I'm joined by not one, not two, but all three faces of Jamal, representing Puerto Rico and America, the crown jewel of the show.
Don't forget Dominican Republic. They'll fucking tear my head off if they be like,
there it is, right there. There it is. I feel like
What
you
the
add
fuck
new
have you
countries
got free
every
flags?
week.
You know what you at? With just flags with Jamal.
It looks like, we're also joined by Manny.
We
He's
studied
down
Japan.
Yes. I'm telling you, it looks like the you know how the N.W.A always have the flags above their rings. That's what your house is becoming.
Gotta
what you
represent
don't
all
know-
three of my faces, damn it.
What you don't know is, on the other side of the camera is the audience that are watching Jamal.
Live studio audience of 7 people.
And you know, it is a Japanese audience, so they're gonna hold all applause and cheering to the very end because they're very respectful of his art and crafts.
I got them straight from Flushing, fucking out there, the Chinatown of New York. They're all sitting, all 7 people.
All right, so today we're talking about why Manny looks confused in the poster. We're talking about AEW All In. This is the preview show for All In. We're also going to cover what's going to happen at Impact Emergence and N.W.A. But we're going to do this show like everybody's going to do this weekend. All In. I may check out some other stuff.
Yeah, we're going on the weekend. That means everything.
Yeah, maybe on Monday I'll come back. I'll have a travel, you know. But we're going to talk about All In and preview the show. The Lord himself will be attending this show and he's announced he is All Elite as long as 90 other thousand people. Or I don't honestly know total, but I believe it's probably they're going to say 100 probably by the end of the show.
It's one of those good things that I'm glad we don't have stock images of us doing reaction shots, because I know Marcus would have already made a Manny is All In black and white bullshit that they're putting on all their socials.
Yeah. So for the watch along, I was thinking about I was going to do that later because it's going to be me and Jamal. I think Jamal's still in. We haven't talked about it since the last time.
Why don't you ask Levi to join you?
Huh? Levi never
joined.
He never wants to join, but he is welcome to join.
He always in the comment section. Always in the comment.
If he doesn't join this weekend, he's a pool seal.
Excited. This is like Levi appreciation show, because this is the show where he can rain and cheer and go nuts for AEW in the comments. But I bet you he will not be here because he's watching the show, as opposed to WWE shows where he's like, I'm ready to watch Collision. But with that being said, Manny, you're All Elite. Oh, well, I was gonna say earlier for the watch along, I was gonna put Marcus and Jamal are All In, and it was gonna be posted throughout the week. You know how you have the images and stuff, and then lead into the watch along. But I got lazy. I may do it later. Manny, the card is a lot of tag matches with some solid singles matches booked.
I don't mind tag races, but when you give me so many and more than just the regular 4 people in the match, I don't care. I lose my level of point of caring about it.
So what you're saying is that this is a glorified Survivor Series for AEW. This is Survivor Series. They said we get
a Survivor Series. At least you cared about the stupid teams in Survivor Series.
Yeah, and Survivor Series there's only 5 people as opposed to the 12-man tag we get in Stadium Stampede, which seems like a lot to follow. That they're going to actually try to do this.
Ray Phoenix might not be in it anymore because
he's out. He's out. Visa issues.
He's packed up because of visa issues.
And I think he's trying to get relocated to America. That's why he hasn't really been going anywhere.
There's out of 9 matches, there's 5 tag matches, 5 of them.
And then the other, well, out of the 9, how many of them are multi-people matches, Jamal? Because the women's match, multiple person, fatal 4-way.
There's only 3. There's only 3.
Yeah, there's only 3 single matches. The 3 single matches is Will Ospreay, Chris Jericho, Punk, and Joe for the real World's Championship, and MJF, Adam Cole for the actual AEW World Championship.
And you know what? I'm going to say it's only 2 because I'm not counting Jericho and Will Ospreay as a singles match because Jericho's bringing his entire band to perform there.
And you know what? And you know what? He's going to be gassed by the time he gets into the ring, wrestling one of the fastest men in wrestling. He's going to be singing himself in the ring, and he's going to be tired by the time he gets in the ring, and then we're going to know it's going to be bad.
Oh, man.
Like, again, as I stated before, maybe they have a fine match. Jericho's cardio lives up to doing this. But again, in Wembley, I would rather see Will Ospreay versus anybody else. This is the biggest match of his career. Like, legit, the biggest match of his career. In the front of the most people probably he will ever wrestle against. And that's not saying this is a small time compared to anything. No, this is going to be the biggest show for a long time in wrestling. It already passed WrestleMania 32 in attendance, and, already the Wembley passed, and the WrestleMania 3. So this will be, and I think there should have been a banger with Will Ospreay and somebody. And I thought Zack Sabre Jr. should be on the card as well.
Zack Sabre Jr. should be on the card. I think Kenny should be in a singles match. Because Kenny in a singles match is going to be the thing that you're going to remember forever.
So if you think they should have held off? Do you think they should have held off Ospreay and Omega like from Forbidden Door?
I think so. I think so. Or you do the rubber match. They're 1-1 now. I think you do the rubber match here. I think it would have made more sense. It would have been bigger. It would have fit the title of the biggest wrestling show in history. Mm-hmm. And it's something to remember, like outside of the main event, which is Adam Cole versus MJF, which needs a little bit more cooking to be that main event for this.
The cooking could potentially be from the pre-show match, the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Championship match with Aussie Open and them. So the dynamic, if they are to win the Ring of Honor World Tag Team Champions, now they're both walking in with gold other than the AEW World Championship.
Oh, I don't think they're winning that gold.
I don't think they're winning.
But again,
I think that's when the turn happens. That's why they're telling people to be there at the pre-show, be in your seats. That's the email I got 2 weeks ago, is make sure you be in your seats for 4:30. It's like be in your seats at 4:30 because the show starts at 5. So obviously they're gonna plan an angle, and I don't think it's that they win the titles.
Yeah, and with the their match, this is the question I'm posed to you guys, and I guess I'll start Manny first with the Ring of Honor tag team title match at All In, and let's say there is an angle in which either Adam Cole or MJF turn, or there's some type of heat between them where they want to fight each other, and then it becomes a blood feud. Would you prefer them to build this as some type of personal feud before we got to this, or would you like the breakup to happen at the show? What would you prefer?
I feel like AEW could have had a much bigger story if they'd started this a lot earlier. Like they started this best friend, like we're friends bullshit, like at least maybe a little bit longer than what they've given to it, because this is probably the longest on the card that you've actually got weeks of build up to. You don't even know what the fuck Roddy's doing in this, other than being a little bitch. But I feel like you could have had a massive blow off at this huge show. But like it feels like it's being whatever the outcome is being saved for All Out, which you haven't put anything in. It's kind of like do you remember the start of the Roman return when he returned from COVID at the SummerSlam when it was the match between Braun Strowman and The Fiend? Yeah. And then you had Payback the week directly after it, and that's when he won the title. This is it. This is basically that. It's like you've put no build into it. The only build you've got going into that show is Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is back, and now he's coming for that title at Payback. That was it. That's the only build you had going into that show outside the regular Fallout at SummerSlam. I think that's what's going to happen with All Out. Is you're going to have no build to it. You're going to have this tiny, small thing. So that's where you think that's where you think this is where Adam Cole is going to turn on him, and then you got to wait for the blow off maybe at All Out.
Yeah. Jabal, how would you prefer this feud? Would you prefer them already going into their main event without this tag match as enemies, or do you want them to break up in the middle of this match, or even stay together? How would you prefer to?
So I think that I agree with Manny. They need a little more cooking, but there's like intangible factors here. Roderick Strong felt slighted a lot, so he can actually cost MJF and Adam Cole this tag match by attacking or trying to attack MJF, and then ends up attacking Cole, and then that leaves for Adam Cole and MJF to have their match, lose, and it'd be Roddy's fault, and then they could build the Adam Cole versus Roderick Strong, and then that could be a fucking feud that they have later on. But that's just too much fucking wishful thinking and stuff like that. But as opposed to answer your question, I think that again they should have like Manny said, it's got to build. There's a build up. This is supposed to be the biggest wrestling event of all time, and it doesn't feel that way. Like it just doesn't. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It really doesn't. It feels like those independent shows that do shows once every like 2-3 weeks, once every 2 months.
Yeah,
an MLW Supercard show. A House of Glory show that just happened like last week in the high intensity, shout outs to the main event. They won their tag team titles back. But again, that's what it feels like. It feels like a WrestleMania weekend without WrestleMania.
Okay, I'm going to throw something at you because I just recently watched this, yesterday. Last week, or a few days ago, 3 days ago, Impact Wrestling and New Japan just did multiverse of matches. This is what this kind of feels like. It feels like that, in which there's a bunch of tag matches. There's a lot of people you want to see, and then there's one singles match for the title, which was Tanahashi and Alex Shelley this week. Come down from MJF or whatever, but it's still like that's what it feels like. It was like, shoot, we gotta go. And I prefer the show that would build. And if you're gonna have a show stadium wide, you need to go Hogan Andre type of build to it. Take your time, and I know that's old as fuck, but take your time and being like, these are the two biggest guys ever. And yes, they've been hurt with injuries, visa issues, feuds in locker rooms, and all the other drama that they got going on there, and guns being pulled on people in the streets. But they still have time, and I still think though, with all my criticisms of this show, I think that the show's going to be a really fun show. I think Manny's going to have a good time.
No. So I know I'm going to have a good time. It's just the fact that, when you have these good times, you want it to be memorable. Mm-hmm. I don't think there's anything on here that's going to stand out and be that memorable.
On paper.
Yeah. On paper. Like, whatever I say on Tuesday on the Untitled Manny and Marcus show after the show will be probably completely different, and it could be interesting to hear your take on what you watched in comparison to what I saw.
Yeah.
Because I remember watching, what was the last show with
when they went to
when they had blackface? Was that Forbidden Door?
That was Double or Nothing.
Double or Nothing.
That's the most memorable thing on that show. And I'm like, you know what? That's it. I was trying to think of what else happened on that show in that span of time.
That's it.
And I was exactly. Like, it's the blackface show.
Exactly. So like my whole thing is it going to be memorable? And that's the thing. I like things to have a lasting memory. Like Money in the Bank. Outside of this Bloodline Civil War, it was John Cena turning up.
Yeah,
for me. And I don't think AEW have been in the game long enough to provide that. Oh my God, I'm going to remember this for fucking eternity.
I think a Kenny match would have got you. I think
Kenny singles match,
and as Luchador brought up, it was supposed to be Danielson Omega too. But Danielson's injury, he didn't heal fast enough.
Yeah, but so you telling me you couldn't pivot? You couldn't pivot and put anybody else?
Again, Ospreay Omega again would have been nice.
Yeah, they're working with New Japan. You could have even thrown me Zack Sabre Jr. against Kenny.
Yeah.
For the TV title or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, that would have been nice.
Yeah, but the Say and Luchador, I agree with some of this. I don't know what's gonna happen. I feel like Stadium Stampede is gonna be too over the top. I feel like it's gonna be hard to see.
Just like
it's gonna be worse. It's gonna be worse than there's 80,000 people around.
Yeah, that's gonna be tough. Because I know Anarchy Arena, I enjoyed that match. I know a lot of people don't, but I enjoy the energy of that match, and that's the blackface match, by the way. But I can imagine them trying to do that in Stadium Stampede. Normally they do that, and they did it in empty arenas. They did it with during basically the pandemic at Daly's Place and for the Jaguar Stadium and stuff like that. They're not going to have an empty arena this time, so basically it's Anarchy the stadium at Wembley, and it's going to be a really like chaotic. And I feel because Mox is going to go over the top, and I may end up hating it at the end.
I have a question.
It could be amazing.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How many times do you think they're going to promote their freaking AEW video game Stadium Stampede mode in that match as that match is going?
They probably do it a lot. They probably do it a lot. And what the sad thing was, I think it came out that 80% of their people that played the game have dropped since the release.
Ooh.
So
80% of people are not. I haven't touched that game.
Yeah,
I've touched it, and I've only touched it because I want to unlock Brody Lee. I want to get Owen Hart, but you need 100 wins, and it's a slog. It is a slog.
Yeah, I just don't.
And then on top of that, with that game, you can tell it doesn't have much momentum because AEW hasn't released any press release about this game is sold this much and all that. Like normally, whenever they have any accomplishment, this is within WWE as well, any wrestling show or whatever, you immediately go, this is the highest grossing or some type of, this is the most played or whatever.
It's because the reviews are so mid.
Because it's bare bones. And the thing that's going to make or break this game is that mode. If they successfully make a wrestling Fortnite, which is the Stadium Stampede match, for multiplayer online cross-platform, and they successfully do this and it's an actual fun mode, it might revive not only the game but the vigor of like the fans that want to watch more of AEW.
Are you sure though, Jamal? Why do that? Why do that when I can play Fortnite for free?
Yeah, but these are wrestlers, man.
V-Bucks? That you still paying V-Bucks?
I want to ride a horse's hangman page, man.
Talking about you got $20 for these fucking V-Bucks. Fuck you in those V-Bucks. I don't want your Roblox cards. I don't want your V-Bucks. I don't want none of that shit. Get out of here.
It sounds like Fortnite has personally attacked you with money.
I don't understand him at all because he got really angry about Coco Melon a few months ago and it didn't make any sense.
Hey, I once at a Target during last Christmas said, fuck Coco Melon. Some kid heard me, gasped. And I looked and his dad was like, and he's like, it's okay, but not his head. I agree. Toys are expensive.
You see?
But on that point, as we talk about Stadium Stampede, the first thing that goes to our mind is the video game because we don't even know who's in this match per se due to visa issues, and there's 3 people missing.
Well, it's actually 7 because Phoenix is out of here.
Yeah. So we are missing a lot of portion of the match, and I'm sure it's going to fill out tonight on Dynamite of like the replacements. But
what if someone turns from the other team and then just ends up on the Blackpool Combat Club team, and then all you need is an extra person, one extra person on the other side?
Nobody wants to turn. Who would it be? Who would you like it to be?
Eddie
Kingston with Claudio? I don't know. They've been building this up too long for them to just all of a sudden be like, yo, homie, we're bros. But I don't know. But the real question is, if there isn't a turn or whatnot, who would you like to see, Manny, to fill out those, or Jamal, to fill out those 3 people? The
AEW wise, or just like if they could,
you can use AEW New Japan and shit if you want to throw in random person from Impact or wherever else.
Blackpool Combat Club should automatically add Shota Umino to that fucking thing because the relationship. So that's just one of them. And then,
you're wrong, and let me tell you why you're wrong. You're gonna get Jeff Jarrett, Satnam Singh,
and Jay Lethal.
Jay Lethal.
With the Texas Chainsaw Massacre Championship in tow.
Oh man, you know what, Manny? I hate that you even said that existence. That may happen. Fuck you, Manny.
And speaking of Jeff
you
Jarrett,
ruined that. You ruined who these people could be because that's actually a possibility now.
My world.
Speaking of Jeff Jarrett, he appears within 2 minutes of playing WrestleQuest. Within 2 minutes, Jeff Jarrett's there.
That's like when you play what's the other one? Retromania, and then automatically Nick Aldis, the champ, like you gotta fight him. Like get the fuck.
All right. So who do you have as your 3 mystery teammates for the Blackpool Combat Club? Jamal.
It's Shota Umino and 2 new booties from fucking New Japan. I don't know. Like they gotta find something.
You miss new booty. I don't know. All right. I am going, and this is kind of in the vein. I don't think it's not Edge. It's not Edge. But
yeah, right.
Ishii.
It's gonna be Shota Umino, Christian Cage, and Luchasaurus. Watch.
Ishii's gonna.
I'm gonna go Jungle Boy, Christian Cage.
Ishii needs to eat a pin. Who else is gonna eat the pin?
Ishii's coming to.
That means they're gonna lose.
But it does open up opportunity for someone that spot for Ray Phoenix stuff.
On the opposite side, the 3 could be Tanahashi, Ishii, and Okada.
It could be.
Because they're the never openweight 6-man tag team champion, so it would make sense.
And then it also brought up the House of Black is not on the card. Yeah, so they can also fill in that spot. And I would honestly, of all of the people we said, and I know continuity story, House of Black will probably be the best fit. It would be the best fit. Do I know who's filling in for Ray Phoenix? I don't know. Throw in Commander.
No,
or,
they're gonna toss either. Is Andrade done with his feud yet? No.
I think that's still going on.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that.
I think
he got his mask back, and I'm kind of like done.
So if it's not Andrade,
because that feud with the Acclaim now, right?
If it's not Andrade, then freaking it's gonna be Roosh.
Yeah, Roosh was trying to get the gang back together on Collision this week. I don't know if that has anything to do with that, but it is interesting who's the people they're going to choose, and I'm sure more again will be filled out tonight on Dynamite. But due to we won't know.
He bet his mask Manny will have the time of his life. Well, yeah. I guess you gotta get your mask up because Manny already said he was gonna have the time of his life. He already said it.
Because I'm going to the Eve show with Choco Pro the night before because someone got me a ticket, which means more baked goods with Nina Samuels.
it's Manny versus El Luchador. Hair versus mask. I
don't even know. Ryan never answered the chat, and I have no idea who Mason Greenwood is.
Mason Greenwood is now a former Manchester United player who hasn't played football for at least 2 years because he was his current girlfriend, and now I believe his baby mama reported him for abuse. And Man United finally released him the other day due to numerous backlash of trying to let him come back.
He's not going to announce he's
training as wrestler low key. Does he know that the wrestling community doesn't appreciate any of those accusations? People get canceled off of accusations.
Austin Theory did it.
Because it was proven that it was false.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few people who got away with it. A few people.
Wolfgang. Wolfgang is thriving in the bar at NXT Land.
The other matches on the show, we have the legacy matches, I want to call this. This is over 20 or close to 30 years of feuding here. CM Punk, the most disgruntled guy in the locker room, and Samoa Joe. Now the question isn't going to be, is this going to be a good match, or are you guys going to love it, or whatever? My question is, can we go through a CM Punk show without incident at All In? Because everybody's all in. Everybody's all in. That means they're all in the back. How is Tony going to keep everybody separated?
By giving CM Punk his own isolated locker room under the guise that he's the star of the show.
Wembley's huge.
We treat like Hannibal Lecter in the back.
Wembley is huge. He'll be in a completely different side of the building.
That's a problem, right?
He's gonna be like, I'm a people person. I'm here with the crowd.
It's gonna be him and Samoa Joe on one side of the arena by themselves, just talking. We're gonna go over our match, but I do feel kind of low.
As long as Stokely is there with them, that's fine with me. Stokely got to come out with Joe for some tomfoolery.
I miss Stokely. He hasn't been on TV much lately. I know you don't.
Ring of Honor television, man. I know you're not paying.
Nice, girl.
He's there every week doing the damn thing.
Might just about lucky to get booked in Mexico.
Marty's been regulated to Mexico, Australia, South America. That's where he's wrestling at right now.
Him and Tessa.
There's also the match between there's Sting and probably his final UK appearance, Manny, with Darby Allin against Swerve and AR Fox. I think it's AR Fox, right?
Yes, it's a coffin tag match. How the fuck is that gonna work?
Yeah, do you gotta get both in there? Do they gotta spoon a little bit, or how?
Both have to be in there. Both. The concept is both should be in there. If only one ends up in there and the match is done, I'm gonna be furious.
They got spoon. They got a spoon. They gotta be in there.
Sting is gonna be like, this is the perfect place to end my career. Here, right here.
AR Fox. Well, he don't get a proper send off in a coffin match. He's gonna get sent off.
We thought Christian Cage was packed up in a coffin match, and then he showed up on WWE weeks later just to get smoked. Just to get smoked.
But with all that being gone, with the Stanga and these tag matches going on, there's the women's fatal 4-way. I don't think there's a question in the universe that Saraya's not winning, right? Like, this is the only. I feel like this is her house. It's my house.
Hikaru Shida might retain.
I don't think so. I think she's going to be used as a transitional champion.
So you think Saraya or Britt Baker is going to win? Because Toni Storm has to be unhinged. This is the best version of Toni Storm I've ever seen. Unhinged Toni Storm.
I think Saraya wins, and then we hear Jamie Hayter return. I think that's what happens.
Dun, 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 dun. And then she just
the engine music's a banger.
And she just rainmakers everybody. Or
I see that happening. I think Saraya wins, and then at All Out, maybe no, but if she was healthy for All Out, she'd be there. But I have Saraya winning, and then defending in a rematch against Shida, and maybe Shida gets it back in a hot potato situation. Just so she had a moment like a Zack Ryder kind of Intercontinental title kind of deal, where it's like she gets the moment, and then it's like, all right, we don't really.
The AEW women's division is already weak enough as it is. Don't hot potato that belt.
They're gonna hot potato it.
At least have long reigns with this belt.
But there are
women's wrestling means nothing in this company.
I thought you were about to say country. I thought you were about to say country.
He would know. He would fucking know.
But what was I gonna say? Shit. The people are missing on this match or on this show, or things that are happening. No international title match, which I think is blasphemy.
Because Sting is tied up in a massive in a stadium stampede.
Yeah, but here's my issue with this. This man defended his title every week on American soil. He finally goes international, and this title is not on the line. And after they built this title up, Eric, the biggest hater I know, has turned around and said, I respect that Orange Cassidy right now. He's a hell of a wrestler, and a competitor, and a champion I can respect. In fact,
Why have you made him sound like a white man in the 80s?
Why not? Because this is how Eric talks. And number one, I respect Orange Cassidy, and I'm a proud champion.
He's gonna cook your ass on Saturday, bro. I can't wait to see that shit.
He don't watch this. Eric
ain't gonna watch this one. He's not available.
He just about listens to the Dumb Show.
Yeah, he barely listens to Dumbs.
The king of the ropes, the core.
I don't know what this has to do with anything, but I'm at it.
You're bringing Is this true?
It's not. What are you talking about?
I don't know.
So it's EFC. It's EFC.
There's no such thing as EFC. KFC exists in this country. KFC exists in this country.
Do they know where Kentucky is?
No one knows where the fuck Kentucky is.
They don't know. Never heard the spices. God damn it.
Yeah, those spices are dirt, more dirt.
I think that this needs to happen. I don't know when Eric can shoot it or if we can find a piano for him to do it, but I think he needs to sit by me. Those were the days. And talk about the days of wrestling he likes as opposed to AEW.
Oh my God.
With John Cena!
Ryan said there's no soul food in Europe. My guy, you haven't even left America.
California. I don't even know why you guys listen to him. That's the
He's
one
like,
Ryan Slim Betty.
You didn't leave the block. Let alone.
All right.
You know, there's just on my street, Ryan, there's a Jamaican pizza place. And it's called, instead of rice and peas, it's called rice and pizza.
What? That does not compute system overload for me.
Is there actual Badman Rastafarian niggas in there?
You can get some jerk chicken in there and all sorts.
Oh,
and then a few doors down, you can get some jollof rice if you want. That's African cuisine, Ryan.
All right, I gotta put this up. Stay to get us back on topic. Don't let Ryan derail the show. Any surprises on the show that you expect? Like Levi said, Oz and Mercedes Moné showing up at All In.
I think Danielson still appears.
50-50.
I think Danielson's injured, but I think he still appears.
50-50 that Mercedes money shows up. This is why Shida should win. So that way Shida and Monet for the money.
This is why Saraya will win. You're giving more credit for her to win because she took her out. She took her out. Took her out twice.
Crazy.
Twice.
And now she shows up in my house. Think she gonna take my
house? You think you can take my house?
Hey, I vote for Saraya not winning because I didn't want that title to be disgraced and get Brad Maddox babies all over it.
It's gonna have.
You know that's the first thing that's gonna get photoshopped.
It's gonna have a whole bunch of all over the place. She's gonna show Ruby Soho how to be a rebel for real.
But do you guys have any other things you want to add to this all-out card? I think it's going to be a fun show. I think it's going to be a long show. I got 6 hours left to over.
6 hours is too much. I don't care what people think. 6 hours is too much. You have to have an intermission at that point.
For Manny being there, he understands that like there's going to be some type of intermission going on and stuff like that. And then number two,
the Jericho singing himself.
That's Jericho singing, getting attacked by Will Ospreay as he's singing Judas. I become. Hidden Blade. Take his ass to the ring.
I'd rather see Baby Tonight being performed than Judas, to be honest. Only
if he comes to the ring in a horse. Only if he comes to the ring with a horse and the flashing lights.
But you have to think, Marcus, that All In is gonna be happening at 1 p.m. our time. Or like what time is it gonna be over in Cali?
It starts said 9 in the morning, my time, Jamal.
So,
9 in the goddamn morning.
1 p.m. my time. Like, we're gonna be up trying to catch all of this. Manny's gonna be regular time at 8 o'clock or whatever.
No, Manny wins this time.
Yeah, it's
Manny
5.
wins.
It's 5 because they're saying the pre-show starts at 5, so it's 5, and then you would think that's that. So the pre-show is an hour, so that takes you to 6. So if all goes to time, you're expecting what, maybe a 4.5 hour show?
Yeah,
that would take it to 10:30.
You're not gonna be out of there till like
take it to 10:30.
Because the match we didn't talk about, the Bucks and FTR are going an hour. They're going about 45 minutes. MJF and Adam Cole are probably going about 30.
Are they? Tony Khan's gonna pull something and be like, "Yep, because you put a black eye on our fucking beloved company. Now we're gonna have to punish you, and now the Young Bucks are gonna win those tag titles again."
They just got repaid. Look, this is what's gonna happen.
Just for the Young Bucks to go fight CM Punk for real this time.
Let me tell you what's gonna happen.
You don't have Ace Steel with you now, motherfucker.
Oh, Ace Steel's employed. He's going to be traveling with them.
He's not allowed to go. He's not allowed to be near anywhere. He's employed, but he's not allowed to be near any of the.
You don't got Ace Steel with you now, motherfucker. Now it's jump.
I feel like he's got a restraining order from all buildings.
They're gonna go over to CM Punk and say it's clobbering time, bitch.
Oh, I really hope All Out just because of international incident. It's like, oh, the whole locker room just start fighting back there. The Bucks are going to win the title against FTR. I don't want this, but they're going to win the title. I feel like it was in their re-up deal when they got their new contracts. We're winning those belts back from FTR first. They're going to go 45 minutes with FTR, and because of that, CM Punk is like, well, they got 45 minutes. Me and Joe are going 50.
CM Punk ain't got 50 minutes in him anymore.
Oh, he don't, but he will do it. And you think CM Punk don't have 50 minutes? Joe's just like, my fat ass ain't doing 10.
Joe said we're doing 27:45. That's what we're doing.
Nah, Punk said,
and I'm adding interest time to that.
We're doing time limit draw like we did in 05.
High impact moves the whole match until it's over. Get all of your shit in quickly.
CM Punk does more than 20 minutes. He'll be all done. Another injury.
I'm done. That has to be a name of a pay-per-view one day. Like, they're on their last legs, all done. His name.
You gotta stick a fork in him because he's done.
Oh shit, CM Punk is done. Manny, do you have FTR or the Bucks, or do you care about who wins those titles or what's going to happen in tag team wrestling? And the only tag team,
given that FTR is not being reprimanded, I think FTR can still retain them. I don't see any point putting them on the Bucks. Because like you put the titles on the Bucks, it's just like, oh, the people that own the company or help run
the
company
the title
got the titles.
The
it just doesn't help.
You put the title on the Bucks so that way Blackpool Combat Club could eventually take them from the Bucks. They're gonna try to milk this fucking storyline with Elite and
no, they can't go back to that. I think we can't go back to that. We're done. They did months of that. I don't think we're going back to that. I mean, like the Blackpool Combat Club are flailing because they're feuding with the best friends right now. You know, they just have their own. Just settle the Eddie Kingston and Claudio to
Ring of Honor World Title. It has to happen.
I'm so over Cesaro because he can't talk. He's useless. He stands there in the back trying to act tough. You ain't tough.
You know what? Cesaro sounds like the coffee that he drinks.
Let's see. Levi wants cameras allowed on the play back from all in. I would like to watch it to play. That would be the greatest Dark Side of the Ring episode.
No, I just want All Access CM Punk. I just want to bring back AEW All Access and just follow CM Punk for an entire year.
Where's that backstage show now? Where's that backstage stage when I actually want it? Now that Punk's back. Where he's cornering people in the walls. Like, you can't use real glass, Jungle Boy. You crazy? Ace Steel's only allowed to make jobs.
Damn, that's tough.
Yeah, what about a therapy? What about a therapy for Larry the dog? The dog
That's
needs
tough.
therapy.
That
The dog's seen some things.
Ryan doesn't know, but that cut a little too deep.
Yeah, Punk will be injured at this pay-per-view. You know, he's about 50-50 on pay-per-view injuries. Like, he'll show up at one, he won. The next pay-per-view, he's down. So
he hurt his foot.
yeah, he dove in the crowd again. He's full. But it seems like a really big card on a really big scale on the biggest wrestling show of all time that WWE is going like, well, fuck you guys, you know, Philadelphia, huh? What about Philadelphia, bro? I don't know why WWE came Matt Riddle real quick, but they just said fuck you. It's not the only show happening this weekend, guys.
No, it's not. It's not. You got Impact Emergence, and then you also have the National Wrestling Alliance 75th anniversary show. But I have I have a question for you, Manny. If All In wasn't happening this weekend,
I would have a weekend off.
And
I would record the show.
And you had to choose between the two. Which is the show that you would have chosen? Emergent.
If you were forced in a room, Manny, to watch anything other than AEW,
what's on the Sunday? Because on Saturday I'm booked.
They're both on night 2 of N.W.A. The main event is EC3 versus Tyrus against Emergence.
Jesus Christ!
It's a bull rope match too. It's a bull rope match.
Huh? And then on Impact,
and it's title versus career too. If Tyrus loses, he's packed the fuck up out of here.
Can we get a draw on this both careers? Ryback shows up.
Emergence looks like their main event is going to be Trinity versus Deonna Purrazzo. Trinity is the Impact Women's Champion right now. So,
can I add something about that one?
I watched that, even though like it never sounds like the crowd are ever into it. Whenever you watch it, it's just like that is an indie show.
Let me tell you this. This is where Impact, I think, is dropping the ball. And maybe they should be going full Eric Bischoff with Trinity. Talk about, she's doing this for her family. I would go full tribal chief, Trinity Fatu, in this full game. I would associate her with the bloodline draws. I would not say directly she's official with the bloodline, but I would always emphasize that Roman.
All they have to do is say that she's part of the N.W.A family, and nobody can dispute it.
Yeah, she's doing this for the N.W.A family.
Just come out there like
nobody can dispute it. Have her coming out with the ones.
Yeah, I'm saying. I would, you can also talk about, she relax on her islands on her day off. All of this stuff. I would, and she can talk about her wise man, the wise man doing it. It doesn't have to be Paul. Like, that could be anybody. You can just keep saying it. I'm just saying, I would milk the shit out of this if the bloodline draws. She is a member, technically, of the bloodline by marriage.
That's why even the AEW stars are putting up the ones.
Yeah.
I've seen that video. I've seen the video of the bums. The bums of AEW. The bums. You've got
they had like Garcia. They had Isaiah Cassidy. They had Danny Garcia,
Jungle,
Sammy Guevara, Jungle Boy. They all tossing ones.
Don't you give him a gender? He is just Jungle now.
my bad. Perry.
Ever since Jerry Lynn, he is just Jungle.
Come on, Jungle. You would think that they would have gave you. I know this was maybe a match you wouldn't have wanted, Manny. RVD and Jungle Boy would have been here. Been a nice little opener. Get the crowd hype. Old fan favorite.
That's a collision match. That's not even Dynamite. That's collision.
That's an old fan favorite. I feel it would give it that, big show feel. WWE always throws legends on the show.
Shit. No,
man. I've already got two old dudes wrestling. I've got Jericho, who's gonna gas himself out before he even gets to the ring, and then I've got an old man wrestling to his death in a coffin match.
Yeah, first of all, Sting isn't his past old; he's ancient now. At this point, he's a relic.
He is a relic.
Jericho's old at 50 something. the show actually skews pretty old when you think about the ages and stuff. Like it's not the youngest thing. I'm shocked that Nick Wayne is his feud is. I guess he doesn't get to travel. His mom won't let him leave the house, leave the country.
The Impact Emergence just copy and pasted all in basically with a bunch of fucking tag matches and some singles.
Yep. There's like 2 singles matches. There's Sonata's having a match against Jake something
with no
Trinity
no title ramifications at all. None whatsoever. You got the Digital Media Championship with Kenny King versus Johnny Swinger. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
like,
this show is not. I would say this show is not really worth many people's time. If you do check out anything, probably check out Peraza and Trinity. Peraza doesn't.
Or the 4-way Impact Women's Tag Title match. My girl Masha Slam.
Yeah, and again, if you want to watch women's wrestling, go to Impact. It's the only show where I would watch an Impact, and the show starts off back to back 2 women's matches. Not even flinching, nothing special about it, just matches. Just like
or watch Eve Pro Wrestling on YouTube and watch me eat cookies with Nina Samuels. Hey, wait,
this is on YouTube, Manny?
Cookie Club.
I never knew.
My new Cookie Club.
Manny, I never knew this show was on YouTube ever.
It's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube, dog. I even seen that shit.
Oh, I've never, I didn't know. I just thought this was something Manny just goes to, someone's basement. He goes, eats cookies, and leaves.
No, I've never seen some. Because I sat front row for one of their shows. I watched Miyu, and I've never actually kicked the shit out of some other woman. That's all I heard was. It was like watching Gunther kicks.
All right, so I'm going to spotlight. So it's a bunch of shit going on with N.W.A. I'm going to spotlight some matches. Number one, Matt Cardona versus 2B announced. He could have a mystery opponent. I don't know who that could be.
I don't know who's.
I'm hoping for Ryback.
Really? I honestly thought there was someone called 2B announced in AEW.
I was like, NWA, you never know. With NWA, you never know.
That would be funny as fuck. 2B announced. Like if it's the new like if they created Vacate the Wrestler or something.
Hey Manny, guess what? Your favorite clown from the Juggalos is also on this card somewhere. Violent J, baby. He's bringing his oddities, brothers, fun destruction.
You need to stop naming people don't know.
Violent J was part of the oddities, Manny. You know him. You were watching
oddities,
Retro.
Man. The insane
you were watching Retro.
Posse.
No, I just know him as the Marshmallow Man.
The Marshmallow Man. He's fun destruction. Do some things.
Kerry Morton, Ricky Morton's son, versus former WWE wrestler Kobe Carino, just because it was that 1 week where he was signed, and then they said, "No,
deal for no reason."
So Steve Carino's kid and Ricky Morton's kid is gonna fight for a title, a junior title.
Wait, does Carino still work for WWE as a trainer?
Yeah, he still works there, but his son is, not signed. I guess rumored signed. Whatever happened with that? Then there's the one-time champion Camille versus Natalia Markova, in which is this the last time she defends her title? And I don't think so. I think she's going to just win until the NWA just goes into a
Markova just a thirst trap for NWA.
I think she's going to beat the brakes off of Markova.
Yeah. That's all it is. It's nothing going to happen in there. I don't see Camille losing any time this decade.
Camille, how long left Camille got on her contract? Because I feel like she needs to be called up to the other players.
I don't know.
I mean, over 800 days as a champion is just incredible. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It is the NWA though.
I mean,
that just sounds amazing to me. It's the NWA. Hold on. If this was Stardom, maybe
because she's different. She's different from these other champions that haven't been defending all over the place, because she's going to Mexico. She's going to she's actually going to other places, fighting their top people to, build that 800-day reign and stuff like that. It's not
but she's trapped in the NWA.
I know
has
she's
to go.
and then Jamal, I will also preference my statement with. It's also like when you look at the NXT UK championships of Katie Ray and Gunther or Walter at the time, and you go, oh, they're
Exactly.
600-day champions. It's like, it's NXT UK. Like 3 people watched that. One
Well,
me,
hold on,
me
hold
and
on.
Marcus
But
included.
This
but
was
see,
inflated
here's the
because
thing.
it was a
But here's the thing,
pandemic
though.
too. Don't forget
But
about
here's
the
the thing,
pandemic with these numbers.
to debunk that, right? Not so much Kaylee Ray because she's just fucking, fodder on SmackDown right now.
She's
Gunther,
not on SmackDown right now.
She's not even on
that's tough.
SmackDown.
That's tough. Gunther has proven that he can do the same fucking thing with the Intercontinental Championship. And he's on his way to becoming the longest reigning Intercontinental Champion of all time. So it's like, I agree with you that she needs to get picked up by someone else. I don't know how long that contract is, though. I think she's trying to stay with her husband for his mental health. The only reason why Tom Latimer, aka Charlotte's ex-husband, is on N.W.A. is because he has mental health issues, and she is there with him helping like that.
He fits in the category of Wolfgang and who's the other abuser we said earlier. And then he beat up Charlotte at one point, which is horrible.
Well, I mean, like, what is Charlotte on her 3rd marriage now?
Well, still. She never married Andrade. They broke it off.
She's got to keep up with Rick.
Never married him, my ass.
She's got to keep up with Rick, Entitled, and marriages.
Who do you have winning the Burke Invitational Gauntlet challenging Camille for night 2?
They have MJ Jenkins in there. She's not winning. The Woad, which is the weapon of ass destruction. She has one eye. She's a big black girl with one eye.
Big ass.
What eye?
Yeah,
she's like the Sammy Davis Jr. of wrestling, ready.
I refuse to have a Cyclops as a champion in any sport.
I like that you could care less about the N.W.A, but if they had a Cyclops win their title, you say that's where I draw the line.
So other than that, like, the Woad is a good pick. Allison Kay or Sierra. Everybody else would be a shock to me to see win this match. And then there's more to be determined inside of that. So we don't know who else is going to show up. Imagine if Mercedes Moné fucking showed up for whatever reason.
That could be to the N.W.A.
That's just throwing that shit out there.
That's just her showing up to show up. If she was going to show up,
N.W.A. ain't got money for her.
No, but I'm saying, that could just be like, I just wanted to do it. But I'm just saying, if you're going to show up somewhere, you show up to All In. You don't show up to the N.W.A. I mean, that's no disrespect. That's probably disrespect. I mean, you just show up to All In. If I'm going to randomly show up somewhere,
I'm saying that strictly for the point of Mercedes Moné trying to win world championships all over the place. She's doing her fucking Zack Ryder run right now because Zack Ryder is doing his fucking, winning championships all over the fucking place. Do they matter? Some of them do, some of them don't. But
she's been injured and she lost the only title she's had in like a week. It was like, damn it, Mercedes.
Well, the trend continues. Squash is gonna.
Yeah, I know.
Squash is gonna squash. Right?
She doesn't keep the titles no matter what. She wants that continuity in her story. Vince was like, "We're gonna make you a long-term tag team champion this time," and she's like, "That's it. I'm throwing the title on the table." And then the main event, EC3 versus Tyrus in the bull rope match. Like you said,
this is warrant a bull rope match.
If Tyrus
going on here, warrant a bull rope match.
If Tyrus loses, then he's out of wrestling forever. He doesn't deserve to be world champion. This and the third. If EC3 loses, obviously he just loses his opportunity of becoming world heavyweight champion and stuff like that.
Now, can we clarify this, Jamal? And I go back and forth. I always mix this up with strap matches and everything else. Bull rope match must touch all 4 corners, right?
Yeah.
Greatest match of all time.
Whoa. I even like when the corners have lights on them too.
That's so good.
There's gonna be that big ass cowbell in the middle.
Yeah. It's one of the more ridiculous matches in wrestling, and you know what? Just for that, I'm going to give that a recommend to watch.
There's history. There's history here. Tyrus and EC3 have been compadres in Impact Wrestling for a long ass time. like when EC3 was doing his trouble days.
Yes.
Tyrus was right there by his side. And
it was his bodyguard. This goes back to Impact.
So there's definitely history there.
But that about discloses everything for the weekend. Do you guys have any closing statements to say? Jamal, I'll start with you, followed by the Lord himself.
Yeah, man. I know I missed it. I missed out the opportunity last week to mention this, but if you guys didn't peep out House of Glory High Intensity 8, go ahead and peep that out.
For some reason, it's been harder for me to find House of Glory shit.
Because it's on
by other means. By other means, I mean. I know where to find it, but by other means, I'm having a hard time. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I used to be able to just get it easy. Then stop.
Because they switched the network that they're on. They're not on Fight. They're like on Premiere Network or something like that.
Bastards.
I paid the $14. It's only $14.
Only.
Well,
for the show. I paid for
could've...
the show. I didn't pay for the network. I paid for the show.
How much you paying for All In?
How much am I
paying?
You know,
I haven't paid for All In yet.
Yeah, how much is it?
How much?
I honestly don't remember how much All In cost.
It's gonna be $60. It's gonna be $60 off the rip.
Does that not even include like, oh yeah, watch out All Out next week?
Yeah,
you have to pay the $60 again for All Out.
Yeah,
they don't have a bundle.
Miss for me.
They don't have a bundle.
Wait to think this.
NWA at least has a bundle. You pay $35. No, they want you to pay $50 for this shit. I'm not paying.
Only we had these.
That's $49 too much for that bullshit.
So they basically was like, oh, it's a $25 show per show. I was like, nah, I'm good.
I want to do the Metal Gear Solid. What? I don't know what's this about.
Why is he the Keith Lee correspondent for this channel? Yeah. Like everything he does is Keith Lee.
He's the Brian Windhorse or Woes of Keith Lee.
He's trying to bask in glory, man.
Why does he break all Keith Lee news for us?
Well, if I was Keith Lee and then you hype me up as being the biggest signing in AEW history and I don't make All In, fuck you. I'm out. Why even have me? I'm just saying, I'm not the most up on Keith Lee lately. It looked like he was getting in better shape the last time I saw him, and he did improve. But I think he should be on All In. Why isn't there no random battle royal announced yet?
Tough.
Normally there's like 80 battle royal at all these shows, or casino ladder match or something like that. There's none of that, and that normally gets people on there. Keith Lee not on the show, even though he should be finishing his feud with Swerve, which never had a match. Never got a match out of that.
If you guys, there are video game aficionados out there, WrestleQuest is available out. When I play that.
If you want to watch me get really bored playing that, I can do that for you on Friday.
Also, there's no more DLC for WWE 2K23. All the DLC has been there. It's clear. Everybody is available for it. They got some patch coming out that's not going to matter. So, and then also Spring Stampede or the Stampede match on AEW. If you have that game, if you own that game, go peep that out.
I'm trading it in. I'm getting rid of it.
No, don't trade it in until we play Stampede one time, me and you.
No,
in the arena.
No. I'm getting my money when it's as highest. I'm getting FC24.
Man, you're gonna go to GameStop. I don't know what the equivalent of London GameStop is. I'm assuming it's GameStop, but they're gonna offer you $10 for it, and you're gonna be like, "This is it. It's a new game."
It's Stop Games. It's Stop Games. It's not GameStop. It's Stop Games.
It's called Game. That's it. It's called Game.
Oh, it's not a Jamaican pizza spot.
It's
Games.
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna go take over your country. Stuff like that is where I think we go to war. Someone just walks by London and says, "Is this called Games?"
I was editing the best of, and I heard Eric say paprika wrong again, and I was furious.
How does he say it?
He said paprika. Like pepper.
Hey, that's the way we say it here in California.
It's paprika.
Okay?
It's paprika.
He said, "Know your spices."
Know your herbs and spices.
Know your herbs and spices.
Coming at me with saying Adidas wrong.
Hey, see, you said it right now.
You said it right there.
You said it right now.
It's a German company.
Yeah, but no one here. No, we're not.
The Addy stands for Adolf. The Addy stands for
Adidas.
Adolf, as in Adolf Hitler.
Yeah, I don't respond to
Adidas.
that very well, baby.
Adidas.
I don't respond to Adolf shoes.
What?
I got them Hitler's 11s right now. Oh, shit.
11s.
Jesus.
I mean,
In another
dunking on these
timeline.
bitches.
In another timeline.
I'll be dunking on these hoes.
Don't lie. You got the
Man,
Jerusalem 11s, the Bethlehem 12s, the Archimedes 13s, the Pompeii retros.
The Pompeii
Fire.
retro.
That shit is fire.
The Pompeii retros are made
Pompeii
of
retro.
cement. You can't even get up on those.
That shit is heat. I'm telling you.
All right. But that concludes the show today. You can find Jamal here on this channel every week on ETE. But if you want to get more in depth into the universal of wrestling and find out about Japanese wrestling, American wrestling, European wrestling, Pompeii wrestling, whatever the hell else that is out there, you can find him on all three Faces of Jamal. It's the number 3 Faces of Jamal on SoundCloud. And you can find Manny on this channel or eating Nina Samuel's cookies on E.
That sounds so rude.
Eating Nina
But yes.
Samuel's cookies is crazy.
I said plural, not so. If I said if you were eating Nina Samuel's cookie, then there's a problem, man. Then that's rude. But cookies plural, it's nothing
No.
wrong
You
with
said
it.
I heard cookies, and I went immediately bon appetit.
We caught Manny.
I
We
want
caught
some more
Manny straight
cookie.
from the cookie jar, man.
Yeah.
Dang, that's crazy.
Manny is the doppelganger, the arch nemesis of the Cookie Monster by being the Coochie Monster. I need some more Coochie.
Coochie.
Anyway, we're gonna play this clip for Nina Samuels, and Manny will lose all his snacks.
Oh my god.
And you can find me here. We'll be back tomorrow on the Dumb Show, the King of the Ropes. Back here to talk about AEW, and an episode I'm sure will be better than last week's episode, which is the dumbest
With a
fucking
new core.
episode.
With a new core. King of the Rope podcast.
Yeah, not gonna talk about Heat Wave though.
We're gonna talk about Heat Wave, the first 2 African Americans to defend a title on NXT in broad daylight. No.
Bro, daylight is crazy.
And we got, just overall, I thought it was a fun show. That, keep Tiffany Stratton off the mic.
Stratty's boobs return to NXT haven't been seen since the Great American Bash.
Yeah, Cora Jade's gonna be back from excursion.
She got back from excursion, all right.
With some improvements. None of these people.
Improvements.
She enhanced her talent.
Enhancements, I meant to say. I didn't realize improvements.
She enhanced her talents.
That splash off the top rope may hurt just a little bit more, depending on where she went to the doctor.
Did the Rock's knees prevail or not?
The Rock's knees is a closet Hardy Boy at this point. The way she's dressed.
When she did the backbreaker in that match, I immediately popped. It's like she used the knee. She used the right knee. But I tell you this, I'm going to say this every single week until it happens, and I know it's never going to happen. I need The Rock to be the real leader behind the schism. I don't give a damn about the bloodline. I want him to just show up in packages supporting his daughter, and that's the reason she's joining. And it's like, kill the key, brother.
Can you see The Rock? Can you see The Rock with the schism mask? No.
Yeah, I want that. I want the eyebrow up. I want the eyebrow up on his mask.
Rock, we'll do
it. Smells and dark.
And we'll watch Black Adam. We'll watch Black Adam on the channel if you turn up on NXT one time.
Just show up one time and support the schism in the mask. Drinking a Terramana, just upset. Joe Gacy, you're ruining my daughter.
No, I just need you to confront Shawn Michaels. And you see Shawn Michaels looking in two different ways. Like Shawn Michaels, one eye is looking that way, the other eye looking that way.
No way.
That's so mean.
Which way did he go? Which way did he go?
But I honestly feel I would be more entertained with seeing The Rock be wrestling dad or like a soccer mom just going to, why is my daughter on the show this week? Just every week harassing Sean and getting phone calls from The Rock. Well, my daughter was in the main event this week, so what the hell is that? Like just all nonstop harassing Sean. Like, please, Dwayne, leave me alone. Stop calling me.
His entrance music then changes to that rap that he did with Tech Nine and them.
Oh yeah. Hey, I want to put him in Sue's van. I want him to drive Eva up to the performance center and drop her off. I want all this shit. This is what I want for NXT, but I'm never going to get it. Be sure to check us out.
Love her nearly as much as he loves the other two children he has.
No.
Love is blind.
Like you never see pictures of him and Ava Rain on his Instagram. You only see the two little kids.
Yeah, I like to think of it like this. So the two little kids are Dwayne Johnson's kids. Ava Rain is The Rock's kid.
It's The Rock's kid.
And The Rock said, know your role and shut your mouth. And that's how she was raised. With that being said, tune in Sunday morning to catch me and Jamal do a watch along for All In, as many as attending the event. Jamal will be wide awake.
You know that's
ready
never being deleted from the deck. That's never been deleted from. That's not ever being deleted from the deck.
There it is.
Meanwhile, you're gonna see me high on cocaine talking about the importance of the FTR and Young Bucks match.
There it is.
And then at the same time, I'm gonna ask Manny as he's trying to exit the arena, how's your back after trying to cheer all night long? I know about your back. But tough. Yeah. Tune in to us this week. It should be fun. I'll see you guys later. He might be out. So much wrong with this Mia.
Where's Mia?
My pizza. All right. We'll see you guys later. Goodbye.